Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad to hear this morning. I want to thank Bill and Michael for doing the show yesterday. Really enjoyed it, and it was a good show. Really enjoyed having them on. Our weather day brought to us by our favorite sponsor for the weather, and of course that's Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin Highway 77. Listen, the rain should be over with. High today 69 to 67 and low 51, but I want to look at the water temperature again. It was 59.5 this morning at the reading on the buoy. 59.5. It really plunged, about 8 degrees really in 2 weeks. Our high today, like I say, is not going to have that much effect on the water temperature because it's just not, the sun's out not high enough and all. Remember, our days are getting a little bit longer now, so we're going to have more daylight. We're seeing some beautiful sunrises. I hope you've been able to see these sunrises lately. They've really been beautiful. The river readings, looking at Apalachicola Bluntstown, it's still at 13 foot. It's gone down some. And this weekend should be okay on the river, but yesterday's rain, I don't know. I do know it's going to affect the Choctaw at Carrollville. It's at a 7.8. It's right at 8 foot this morning, and a little bit flat, but it's coming up with this rain we've had. The tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. We're looking at a low tide at 7:32 this morning and a high tide at 3:45 this afternoon. So be aware of what's going on with the weather. It's like Bill was talking about yesterday, just up and down, up and down. And the same way with the water temperature. I know y'all think I harp a lot on that water temperature. It is so important in our fishing, in our bay system and Gulf system, and keeping up with that water temperature. So it's at 59.5 now. It's really gone down. So be interesting to see what's going to happen the rest of the week. Be right back. Okay, welcome back. Just got off the phone with Sea Quarters Marina. I just wrote down what they said. I won't have them on the phone interview like I normally do. They're getting busy down there. And I asked, what's biting? And the two things, the trout and the brim. Now, what they're doing on the speckled trout, they're catching them right there, right out there in the bay. Now, they've caught a lot of speckled trout. He said it's been really good his last week or two on speckled trout. And I said, what are they using? Basically, just basic mirror lures. So speckled trout fishing. They're catching a few reds, but they've really done well on speckled trout and the brim. Now down there we talked about you put in there at the Sea Quarters Marina and go up the river. Where they're catching the brim up in the woods, and that the water being up, you can get back in there. They're catching a lot of brim, and guess what they're catching them on? They're catching them on crickets and worms. And how about that for some earth-breaking shadow news on how to catch brim? So I know they're having a good time. That Carrollville River is something else. I still want to. I want to get on it this spring and this summer. It's just so nice. Let's look at some pictures. They got some nice pictures bringing in. Speaking of the swamp and getting up in the woods and all, how about taking your Hobie kayak back in the woods and in the swamp and do some hunting? Gary Giddens sent this in the Panama City Kayak Fishing Association. And look at y'all can recognize you've been anywhere on the river system. This is how it looks, and I've always loved this swampy look. But it's hard to get to, so you get to it on a kayak, and that makes a lot of sense. Just ease back there, get on one of those little islands, and that's where some big bucks are. Good job, Gary. All right, this is all right. Now let me explain this one. This is how every fish can be a trophy picture. These are arm extenders, okay? So you put the fish in that model up there, and you hold the little end on the other end with your hand, and you extend the fish closer to the camera, and the fish look better. So this is going to be a good Father's Day gift for a lot of guys in your family or some birthday gift coming up. How to make the trophy fish come alive. One of my former students, Adria Barnes, shot my first buck. Adria, actually, she's an attorney now. And she's a sweetheart of a girl. I'm going to get her to come on the show and tell us about getting her. She's a good outdoor girl. She hasn't had a lot of time being in law school and all, but she's here working at Perry and Young, I believe. But Adria Barnes, I'm so proud of you. Good job and big old smile. Okay, look, we got some hunter safety internet completion courses. They're coming up in February. So let's take a look at them now. These are the Students, you got to take the online course, of course, online course in the classroom, and must bring the completion form with you. And most people pretty well know that. Now, all right, let's look in Gulf County. Gulf County is going to be February the 22nd. Go and put that on your calendar. February 22nd at the training center for the Gulf Correctional Institution. That's on Ike Steele Road in Weewalt. Okay, let's go to Holmes County. Holmes County is February the 15th. And that's there at the Correctional Institution at a training building. And it's from 8 o'clock to 2 o'clock. And then Leon County, not many of y'all will go to that one because you're right next door to Liberty County. And that's going to be the Correctional Institution there. That's just a good place to go. And that's on Dempsey Barron Road. Man, that's not too far as the crow flies from where we hunt up in that area. So, and that's from 8 o'clock also to 2 o'clock. But remember, that is Eastern Standard Time. Okay? And don't forget now, a lot of you have been bringing in. We want to remind you again, Steve Shea was on talking about share the harvest. And this is just a great way to give. Okay? And also, it gives you a chance. You may can win. Ronnie Groom has donated this, and we've mentioned it before. I just want to mention it one more time during hunt season. You can win a Savage over and under 22, a 410 shotgun from C&G. So that's a win-win. That's people, hunters helping others. All right, look, I know a lot of us get squirrels in our feeder, all around the feeder. They're aggravating at times, especially when you get this many. How many is this? So we've got them circled here. Let's see. We've got one up top, eating out of the feeder, then from left to right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squirrels. 6 squirrels just eating up the corn so the deer can't get to it. And at time to be aggravating. But what happens, you get a predator. You introduce a predator to the area. Boom. And all of a sudden, look, and boom, that takes care of it. Okay? So make sure you get a good predator in your area also, and that's the apex of the food chain. Brian Revere, who's a principal at Vernon High School, Brian was in my first outdoor class, just got one the other day. He said, let this fat boy have it. All right, so we got a nice buck, Brian Revere. Big buck, too, and he's very selective in his hunting. Tommy Davis sent us into Panama City fishing, talking about the crappie. He and his uncle caught a fine mess yesterday, and that is a fine mess of crappie right there. Like a perch, as the old timers call them. Okay, I want to read it real nice from Tanis, and we need to do that. Hey, dear Winston, please put my wife Dion and my name in a pickle jar. I watch your show every day and hope you keep it going for another 15 years. I don't know, Tanis. Okay, it is nice to start the day with Panhandle Outdoors. Thanks for all you do from Inlet Beach, Tanis, and we'll certainly get that taken care of. So, okay, so in fact, let's go and do that now. I've got them right here. We'll put Dion in that first, okay? Let's put Dion, Inlet Beach, Khalil, and then Tanis, and then also Dennis Ferrari sent his in yesterday, so got all those. So, all right, let's take a quick break and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Let's take a minute or two to talk about eagles. We were out riding the other day down toward the Cape, and there's an eagle's nest over in Tyndall, and it's sort of pretty close to the road. I think I've showed you the picture, I know, and it's fascinating. And just touching base on the eagles, you know how strong we feel about them. Speaking of the apex of the food chain, you got that eagle up there, and they're just fascinating. And they're fascinating, Jeff. And what they do, I was trying to remember when the nest, I looked it up, they've already built a nest. The nest is built, okay? And I was looking it up. In fact, there's about 1,500 pair of eagles in the state of Florida, from what FWC can ascertain. And out of those, most of those are active. They were taken off, remember they were in danger for a long time, basically from DDT. They proved that over and over again in the 60s and 70s, especially the 60s. The DDT just decimated them. But they came back and they were taken off the endangered list in 2007. And they've thrived since then. They're all over the place here. I can see them, they're up at Deer Point Lake, and they'll swoop down every now and then and get some fish or out. I can see that in nature. Nothing better. You watch all kind of movies and all kind of stuff, but nature is the best show on earth as far as watching and viewing. So the eagles are really cool. Here I've got a couple of pictures. Let me show you some pictures I was just able to pick up. And one of the things that right now in December and January, they're laying the eggs. Okay, so these are some of the nests you'll see. This is pictures here. Okay, but anyway, I just got. But what I want to show you here's the thing I wanted to show you. I looked up the. These are the these are the nests. These are the eagle nests in Florida. Y'all recognize very many? Is that amazing? And then I sort of brought it in a little bit closer. Okay, and then of course I wanted to bring it up here to our area. Here's the eagle nest, according on the FWC website, of where we have our eagles. And I look up there, especially around where I live, put it right there in the center. That's right up there around Deer Point Lake, North Bay. And there's one interesting over there around Gulf Coast College, a couple out there in West Bay. And then look at Tyndall. Why do you think there's so many out at Tyndall? Because there's not a lot of woods and they're close to the water. I mean, not a lot of, there's a lot of woods and not a lot of condos and all, and they're close to the water. And there's one there at St. Andrews State Park. I was amazed I have not found one in Calhoun County, and there's only one in Gulf County. Okay, but then get on down there, look along, look at St. George Island, all those natural places there, all along the coastline, were just really amazed me, and all the way down to Wakulla, all along the coastline, these nests. And what you can do, you can go to the website, you can actually punch one of those blue dots, say that one right there in the center, the Gulf. I punched it last night, and what they'll do, the chart will tell you the last time that they were monitored. And a lot of these have been a couple of years since they were monitored. And I don't know what has happened since Hurricane Michael. If this is pre-Hurricane Michael, so I know some of these nests had to be built back. But I just wanted to talk about the eagles, and again, they're the apex of the food chain. So, okay, now I wanted to also mention I've got a picture of the coon. I was looking up some. We're talking about the coon hunting, and we do. By the way, if you're interested, we've got our numbers connected on the folks that want to go coon hunting, and some people that's going to help them and all. And we're going to, if you're interested in doing that, I'm on Michael Harris called or text me and said he'd be willing to get you some numbers and all of people he knows. So if you're interested, text me and I'll send you Michael Harris's number. If you're interested in just maybe going out observing some good coon hunts or seeing what they do, there's still people doing it. Okay, on this picture here, I just wanted to. I found this is fascinating. Now this is a little cemetery. Okay, the history behind it. Okay, this is see the coon, see the right there in the middle, the dog. This is cemetery for coon dogs, and it came, and it started on this dog right here. Died in 1937. Born April 1st, 1922. The dog's name was Troop, and died on the 4th of January or September in 1937. And it was called, I'm going to read you the story about it, but I'll just read it to you. Basically, it's Underwood Cemetery. It's in Colbert County, Alabama, which is close to Cherokee County. And Underwood, the guy's name was Underwood. He had no intention of starting a dog cemetery, but the dog's name was Troop. And you know how you have this passion and love. We'll talk about it, the bond you have with dogs. He went on down to say, your dog's got to meet a qualification to be in there. The owner must certify that it's a purebred coonhound, and a witness must declare the deceased dog has hunted coon. So, and headstones can be got to be stone, and it goes on to say that right now there's over 300 coon dogs buried in that cemetery. Now, would you believe something like that? I just got tickled last night reading about it. So Troop started it. In fact, the cemetery in that movie, Sweet Home Alabama, they showed that cemetery in the movie, and I thought that was just a good tribute to those. Okay, now speaking, I'll go back to right here. I had Brian Revere's picture on a while ago, and Brian shot a nice buck. This just a couple days ago. He's got another buck there, and but I wanted to show you the setup. He's got a food plot. He plants it in October. He got a feeder. Now, what Brian does, I'm going to read what he does, because Gary Abbott, we're talking about, he answered Gary, every day. He feeds them twice a day for 6 seconds, and a food plot in October, protein in off season. So that's Brian's little game plan for his bucks. Every year, Brian gets a nice buck out of there, and of course his turkeys. He's got a good situation there. So we're talking about game management and how to take care of things, how to do things as far as taking care of. Some people, and I'm guilty of it myself, just want to feed them right before the season, some during the season. Now this year I was interrupted by the bears. I had a bear attack my feeder. You saw it, you were witness to it. So I really got messed up on my feeding. But next year, every year, so next year is going to be a great year in outdoors as far as, and I've got them on camera. Jeff and I were just looking at them right before it came on air. We had a deer walk through, but all we could see the back end of it, so we couldn't tell if it was a buck or doe, but it happened this morning. And another thing fascinates me on the camera, and you probably see it too, when it gives the temperature of the woods. It's like 5 or 6 degrees cooler all the time up there in the woods, especially if you're sort of in a low spot. So if you check the camera gives that report every day on that. Okay, also let's go and take our break. We've got some more good stuff coming up. Welcome back. Let's take a look at our fishing game times brought to us today by Blue Water Outriggers in Port St. Joe. 3:55 to 5:55 right now, and this evening from 4:15 to 6:15. That should be a really good time. A couple of things just to take care of. February coming up, it's still got some cool weather. It's an excellent time to get one of these boat smart books and just go over. I know there's so much information here. We'll go over a lot on the show, and I was just sitting over here. I just wanted to remind you, we in our outdoor class, we used to spend about 4 to 5 days on boating safety, almost a whole week, and we'd give the kids a test. We actually administer the test. Of course, it's an open book test. It's not real hard, but and they all did. I would send the results. I have a stack of all the classes, Bill, stacked. I'd send them to Tallahassee. And I talked to the guys in Tallahassee that graded them. They got a kick that our class was doing. They'd send them back to me, and they got that little lifetime card. And we made it a big deal when you got that card. I told everybody to dress up tomorrow because we're going to do our presentation. I said it's going to be a practice for your graduation. And then one of the kids, I'd get the kid to put up a Pomp and Circumstance on the phone, the graduation song, and they'd put it on and put it up on my desk, and we'd start playing the music, and I'd have the card, and I'd call out the name. All right, this is Adria Barnes, congratulations. She'd walk up, like she'd walk on the stage to my desk, and I'd shake her hand, and sometimes I'd hug them and all. And this is congratulations on your achievement for a lifetime. But anyway, that's what we did with that. So you can do that. But my point is, the information in here is just invaluable. So if you get a chance to get one of these and go over it, especially got young people in the house or around your neighborhood. Okay, I got several more things. I'm gonna run out of time like I always do. I mentioned this the other day about Destin, the history of Destin, and so much cool stuff going on with their little museum over there. And I pulled up a picture of Dewey Destin, okay? And I'm sorry, this is Leonard. Dewey's his ancestor. Leonard, he came down in about 1855, and I wanted to. This is just some early pictures I pulled up. This is when they built the bridge from Fort Walton Beach to Destin. And it was can you believe they built bridges like that in those days? And of course, this is one of the early fishing boats, the Merino Queen. It was a Kelly family who some of them ended up over here. There's Destin in 1961. It wasn't much going on there, but it was a cool spot. And then this is a before and after picture, okay? So this is the East Pass. This is looking toward Destin. You see the area here. So we're looking sort of south right now. That was in the 1940s. Arturo Manelli took some wonderful pictures. Same picture, same location. Okay, I'm gonna go back. All right, before tourism and before people found Destin. Can you imagine how beautiful that was at that time? And then after, okay? That's fascinating. This is right on the lower end, of course, Crab Island, which was an island all the way. It got named Crab Island. It was actually an island, and it finally got washed out by the storms. And how did Destin get the world's luckiest fishing village, the title? I looked that up, and our governor in Florida was Leroy Collins in 1956. He's from Tallahassee, graduated from Leon High School, and was a good governor and ran for Senate and lost it. But anyway, he was well thought of for that period of time. He loved the outdoors, and he got a chance to come down here and go fishing like his first year in office. Of course, being a governor in a big hurry and all, ran down here. He went out. He told the captain he had 20 minutes. His captain was was Captain Salty Brunson. Is that not a great name for a captain in the Captain Salty? That's long before the salt life became popular. And he took him out, and took him out for 20 minutes, and they hooked into a 29, right at a 30-pound king mackerel, and brought him in. And of course, the governor was just tickled and all. He said, "Man, it was a village, as you see in the picture. Man, this is great. This is the world's luckiest fishing village." And the word got around. The governor called our home, our place over here, the world's luckiest fishing village. So that's how word of mouth started spreading, because the governor caught that, and that's how they got named the world's luckiest fishing village. But it's just all kind of good things. I don't have time to tell. In let's say 1920, the hurricane of 1926 was coming in, and after it hit, water was all over Choctawhatchee Bay, and it was rising up, and they thought it was going to sweep them off. So the Marta family, the Destin family, 3 or 4 families went out with shovels to dig a trench so Choctawhatchee Bay would drain out into the Gulf, because they were about to go underwater in Destin. And they was a low spot where they just with shovels started digging, and they finally got it to where a little bit of stream started coming through. And folks, I read the reports from people who were there. All of a sudden, it just exploded. That water just came through, exploded through that ditch, and just waves coming through there. And all of a sudden, they had to run. They had to literally run for their lives to get out of there. And all of a sudden, that was 600 yards wide. All of a sudden, boom! And then it said it was like 150 feet deep within an hour. It was 150 feet deep. That's how much water was in Choctawhatchee Bay that swept through there. So would that have been an amazing video to put on YouTube if you were there? But they actually just dropped the shovels, and they all just ran to get out of there. I've run out of time. Thank y'all for watching Panhandle Outdoors. You have a great day today. Do something good for your fellow man, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.